Anything else? Okay. Go. Call me if you need anything. I mean, you can see, you'll see if something starts to pop up, you can walk over, hide it, and flow. Most people don't. Okay, so, cool, sounds good. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Class. Welcome, mamas, to 1 hour prenatal yoga. I'm Tess. Just to give you a heads up, you can have some blocks. They're a luxury, and not everybody has them. So if you have blocks and you know you need them, especially if you are further along in pregnancy, then feel free to go grab them. I'm sitting on a blanket right now. If you don't have a blanket, you can also grab like a nice cushy towel or something you can fold up as such, which will be a nice cushion underneath your knees, and some of the poses where we're bearing weight on our joints, knees, whatever. So we're here for just an hour, and normally these classes in person are 90 minutes, but since I don't have you with me in front of me to go around the room and check in, what I ask is that you just take a moment and check in with yourself and simply ask yourself what it is you need from your practice today. Scan your body, notice where you're holding tension in your body, or if you're having any of the common discomforts in pregnancy, just become aware of them. And then in that way, you can move your body to specifically address those needs or hold shapes to address those needs. So I ask that you also start with your hands in some sort of intentional spot. They can be at your heart, they can be on baby, or they can rest on your legs. So as we begin, and maybe some of you still filtering in, you can just come to a comfortable seat. And if you are having any low back pain, I do suggest you elevate your hips above your knees to take some pressure off of your low back. And then just arrive. So you've made it here physically. How can you come onto your mat mentally, emotionally? I invite you to take 3 rounds of cleansing breaths. So take a deep inhale through your nose, fill up. Exhale, open mouth. 2 more, breathe in. Breathe out. Last one, inhale. Sigh it all out. Release every drop of air that you can let go of. Maintain a slight part between your lips. And we'll start to shift into our rose petal breath And we call it rose petal breath, so you can imagine you're holding a rose petal in between that ever so slight part in your lips. So you sit there and through your nose, you fill up around baby, you expand into the ribs and into the heart space. And then you exhale through the slight part in your lips, release from your heart space, your ribs, and around baby. So you try to fill up from bottom to top on your inhales. And release from top to bottom on your exhales. And mamas who are further along in pregnancy, whose diaphragm can't descend down very much because baby's taking up all of that space, really breathe into the side ribs, let them expand side to side, front to back, as much as they can. And then maybe you choose to close your eyes or you set your gaze somewhere in front of you. And start to gradually lengthen your breath. And as your breath lengthens and deepens, feel it move into the spaces of your body that need a little bit more attention. The spaces of your body that you're gripping or you're holding on to. And allow your exhales to release any unwanted tension, that which does not serve you, all of it. And then on your next exhale, slowly release your chin towards your chest, not that it's touching, just enough to lengthen through the back of your neck. And then take your right ear to your right shoulder and pause. Keep your heart lifted and the shoulders down the back. And then pass your center, left ear to left shoulder, pause. And then find some fluidity. Move from shoulder to shoulder. Maybe you hold a spot that feels extra sticky or that needs a little bit more release. And then next time your chin is at your chest, pause. Interlace your fingers and place them at the base of your skull, and then allow your elbows to drop down towards the floor. As you inhale, lift your heart, open your elbows, expand through the upper body. And as you exhale, round through the back body, allow your elbows to drop again towards the floor. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. One more inhale, open. Exhale, round. As you inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Keep your fingers interlaced. Flip your palms up towards the sky. Soften your shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, side bend to the right. Keep your sitting bones grounded. Press through the palms. Feel a wrist stretch. Feel your ribs lift away from baby. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. As the sitting bones ground, your palms press away. Move in opposition. Inhale back up to center. And then as you exhale, take your hands behind you, fingers interlace at the low back. And then squeeze your arms straight with the inhale. And then a gentle fold forward with your exhale. This doesn't have to be big. And then you'll come back to a neutral spine and take your arms into a goddess position. So your elbows are somewhat in line with the shoulders, and you can see your hands and your periphery. So those of you who have been to my class know that I start off all of my classes with arms. We don't use any weights. We just use our bodies and gravity. So we hold this position here in an effort to strengthen our arms and gain stamina. And when you feel tension move into your body as your arms start to get fatigued, that's when you soften around the effort. That's when you reconnect to your breath. And remember, you're at home, so you can pause. You can come out of this at any point. There's no medal for finishing the entire arm series. But we prepare our bodies to hold our babies. And babies want to be held. So we strengthen our arms. Maybe you close your eyes. Maybe you find a sway. The goal in our arms and through the duration of our prenatal yoga practice is to get comfortable being uncomfortable and to soften around the effort. Because that is what you need during labor. That is what you need during motherhood. To soften around the effort. You'll keep your arms in this same shape, but drop your elbows to your sides, and then lift the elbows in line with your shoulders. So it's a fluid movement, and it's as slow or as fast as you need it to be. And maybe you incorporate your breath with the movement. Or maybe you simply move without worrying about anything else. And remember, you have the choice to take pause when you need it and rejoin when you're ready. If you're starting to stiffen around the neck, maybe take a few neck rolls. Notice if you're starting to grip around the hips or the glutes, try to soften, release. And next time your elbows are at your sides, bring your palms out in front of you, extend your arms out, keep them long, tap your hands to your shoulders, and then reach them right back out. Maybe this seemed silly in the beginning, but now you're starting to feel the burn a little bit. You're starting to feel your body warm up from the inside out. If your partner or someone is close to you, maybe start up a conversation. Maybe that will help you take your mind off of some of the fatigue you're feeling, maybe in your upper shoulders by now. Next time your fingertips are at your shoulders, pause. Rotate the elbows to the sides, extend your arms out, flip the palms down. Plug your shoulders or plug your arm bones into the shoulder sockets, and then make tiny circles with your fingertips forward. These are little micro movements, they're not big. And also if you're really tightening and stretching around the wrists or the fingers, just try to relax a little bit. And then shift in the opposite direction. And then take your hands at your heart and press your palms out. So we move from our heart space out to a wide range of motion. This should feel a little bit good, a little bit better. Starting to stretch out a little bit. And then next time your hands are at your heart, pause. You're going to stretch out in front of you and then back in. Have you started to grip anywhere? Have you started to take your mind elsewhere, bring it back to center, and soften? Next time your arms are in, pause, bring your arms open to goalpost. We're almost finished with our arm series. Touch your forearms together and reach them right back out. Maybe you take a cat-cow spine with this. And then next time your arms are open, pause, cross your arms in front of you, grab your shoulders, give yourself a little massage. Shake out the wrists. Bring the tops of your hands together so that your fingers point down, and then drop your elbows to stretch out the tops of the wrists. And then we'll shift onto all fours. So you stack your joints, hands are beneath the shoulders, knees are beneath the hips, or if you'd like, you can take your knees in a wide stance, especially if you are further along in pregnancy. Cat-cow looks a little different in pregnancy. We don't drop the belly with the inhale. We more pull the heart through and draw the shoulders back. So as you inhale, reach your heart center through your shoulders, broaden through your sitting bones, and then with your exhale, press into the earth, round your upper back. Hold this first cat. Shake your head yes and no. And then find some movement, some fluidity. Inhale, open through your front body, shoulder heads draw together and down. Exhale, press and round. Inhale, expand. Exhale, reach your spine towards the ceiling. One more, inhale, open. Exhale, round. And then as you inhale, come to a neutral spine. And as you exhale, step your right foot back, curl the toes under, press through the heel for a calf stretch. And then roll to the inner edge of your right foot, reach your right fingertips up towards the sky. So you're in a modified side plank, and your right foot is fully connected to the floor. Take a deep breath in. And with your exhale, find a side body stretch. Reach your right arm alongside your ear, round your right side body up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach your right fingertips up. And then as you exhale, take your right hand to your low back. Your palm faces out. The top of your hand touches your sacrum. Roll your shoulder up towards your ears and then behind you. Two more, roll it up and behind. One more, roll up and behind. Opposite direction, roll forward and behind. Up towards the ear, forward and behind. Last one, circle it forward, behind, and then take your hand behind your head, elbow points towards the sky. As you inhale, expand through the inner arm, almost lift your heart up towards the sky. And as you exhale, you round towards the mat a little bit. Inhale, expand. Engage through the upper back. Exhale, round. One more, expand, open. And as you exhale, round, release your right hand to the mat, and then you can step or help your right foot outside of your right hand. So you'll shift into a lizard pose. And this is where, if you have blocks, they come in handy. So that if the floor feels too far away, or if you feel like you're smushing baby, Then bring the floor to you and elevate a little bit so that you can extend through the spine and not dump weight into the low back. And then you allow your hips to move forward and your shoulders to roll back. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, open mouth. And then at the bottom of your next exhale, toe heel your right foot to the center of your mat. You can shift your props off to the side, climb onto your right thigh, and come to a low lunge pose, Anjaneyasana. Hands can stay connected to your thigh, they can come to your heart or reach overhead, so you have options. Find a hugging of the inner thighs together and a lift of your hips away from the low back. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, release your hands down, half splits. Another great time to grab your blocks if you have them. Walk your hands back. Straighten or get close to straightening your right leg. And your hips stay over your left knee. Press through the big toe ball mound of your right foot. And really press into your right heel. Feel that activate the back of your leg. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, walk it forward. Shift your props off to the side. Walk your hands, I'll shift in this for you. Stay where you are in your mat, but walk your hands over to the left a foot. And then spin on your left knee and get your left heel underneath your butt. So you should look between your legs and see a square. Should be like that. So when we start to move, you're moving on a diagonal in between your knees for these square squats. As you inhale, you sit back towards your left heel. And then as you exhale, you come forward. Inhale, sink back. Exhale, come forward. And your goal is to keep your spine long through this. So if you feel like you're tucking the tailbone or rounding the back, limit your range of motion a bit. Maybe you only move a few inches front to back. Inhale sends you back. And the exhale brings you forward. And then next time your weight is a little bit forward, pause. And then this time you'll lunge now towards the top of your mat. Everything stays the same except the direction of your movement. So as you inhale, you find a deep bend in your right knee. And as you exhale, you come back over your left knee. So it's an inhale, lunge. Exhale, shift back. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, shift back. And then next time you're deeply lunged, pause, walk back around to the top of your mat, and then send your right leg behind you, 3-limb tabletop, kick your heel in and out. Circle your knee a couple of times in both directions. And then place your right knee down in line with the left. Step your left foot back, curl the toes under, press to the heel. Rotate to the inner edge of your left foot. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Breathe in. Find your side bend with your breath out. Inhale your left arm up. Exhale your left hand behind you at your sacrum, palm faces out. Roll your shoulder towards your ear and then behind you. 2 more, to the ear and then behind you. To the ear and behind you, opposite direction, to the ear in front of you. To the ear in front of you. To the ear in front of you. Take your hands behind the back. Inhale, expand through the inner arm. Engage through the upper back. Exhale, round and look towards the mat. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, round to the top of your mat. Place your left hand down. Step or help your left foot to the top of your mat for lizard pose. Shift your hips forward, roll the shoulder heads back. Blocks if you need them, or maybe come to your fingertips. Cleansing breath in, cleansing breath out. And with your next exhale, toe heel your left foot to the center of your mat. Climb onto your left thigh for low lunge pose, Anjaneyasana. Hands wherever you feel most steady. Hug the inner thighs together, lengthen through your side bodies. Breathe in. With your breath out, release your hands down to the mat. Walk it back for half splits. Straighten your left leg. Slightly round through the low back so that you're not sticking your tailbone up so much. Breathe in. With your breath out, walk it forward. Square squats again. So you walk your hands over to the right of foot. Spin on your right knee. Get your heel underneath your butt. Look between your legs. Can you see a square? Inhale, sit back towards your right heel. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, sit back. Exhale, forward. This can be as big or as small a movement as you need. And then next time your weight is a little bit more forward, pause. We'll find that deep lunge. So that as you inhale, you bend into that left knee towards the top of your mat. And as you exhale, you shift back over the right knee. Inhale, deep bend. Exhale, shift. Inhale moves you forward. Exhale brings you back to a square. And then next time your weight is forward, pause. Walk back around to the top of your mat. Plant your palms, 3-limb tabletop. Send your left leg back. Kick the heel in and out. Knee circles a couple of times in both directions. And then plant your left knee down. Take your knees wide again. Walk your hands forward a few inches. Lower to your forearms and interlace your fingers. Press your chest back towards your thighs. So we're in polar bear pose, which is a really nice modification for down dog. So that during this class or any other class, if you're not comfortable with down dog, this is a great space for you to be. Actively spread your sitting bones away from one another. Draw the shoulder heads together. And then start to circle your hips in one direction. And think less about how this looks and just more about how it's creating space in your pelvic bowl for baby and how it's relieving tension in your low back. Opposite direction. And then pause. You have the option to stay here, or with your exhale, climb onto your hands and press back to downward facing dog. Maybe you experience this a little differently by walking your feet wide. And then press your chest back towards your thighs. Maybe you shift from side to side, bend one knee and then the other, rock the hips, shake your head. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, open mouth. Gaze at the top of your mat, soften your knees, and then tiptoe your feet wide. Bring the heels slightly in, and then drop the seat down for a full squat. This is where A chair would be a nice modification, or you can take a block on any level underneath your sitting bones. Maybe you're even on a birthing ball right now. There's lots of ways to modify a full squat, but we do this so that we can soften the pelvic floor, so that we can stretch the perineum and open the hips. So hands wherever you like. Maybe they're at heart, maybe they're at baby, maybe they're extending down by the sides. Try to soften around the hips, the glutes. Cleansing breath in, cleansing breath out. Release your hands down and take a block underneath your hands. If you don't have a block, that's fine. You may not go as deep. So we're moving into our drop squats. Heels in, toes out, or if you have any pubic bone pain, keep your feet parallel. So you may decide as you start to move that you want to keep your feet parallel. So as you inhale, you bend your knees, you draw your hips and your butt way back. You almost feel like your heart is reaching up. And as you exhale, the legs straighten. And I'll show you what this looks like kind of in front. So as you inhale, drop your butt down. And as you exhale, come up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. And again, this doesn't have to be big. If you find like you're deeply tucking the tailbone, then limit your range of motion. The idea is to draw the knees and hips back so that they're not working over the toes too much. Inhale down, exhale up. And then the next time your knees are bent, pause, climb onto your thighs, chin to chest, flat back, or roll up, you decide. Feet stay as they are. We'll come to a full wave squat. Reach your arms up. Inhale sends you down, butt reaches back. Exhale, come up. Gentle squeeze of the glutes. Inhale down. Shoot your sitting bone behind you. Exhale up. So not only are you strengthening and toning the legs in these drop and wave squats, you are strengthening and toning your pelvic floor. Next time your knees are bent, pause. Bring your hands to your thighs. This is what it looks like. We're kind of in this rested squat position. And maybe you stay here, maybe it feels good to kind of sway your butt from side to side. You can make a smiley face with your sitting bones on the wall behind you. Breathe. Lots of work, your body's gonna wanna come out of this. But we're here, and then wherever you are, find stillness. Hands to thighs, chin to chest, flat back, or roll up. At the top, rock your hips from side to side, release tension. Shift any props that you may be using off to the side. Ground through the feet, hands at heart. Root your right foot down, and then step your left foot back for a high lunge pose. So this may be a shorter stance than you're used to. High lunge can sometimes have a shearing effect on the pubic bone. So if you are feeling any pulling, any tensing in the pubic bone in high lunge, simply shorten your stance. So make this work for you. Hands can stay at heart, maybe reach overhead. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend and hold. Now the right leg stays quiet and your left leg bends. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend your left knee. It can be a little or a lot. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend and hold for 3, 2, 1. Drop your left knee down. Drop your hands down and bring your right knee in line with your left so you're in a half plank. If you'd like to take full plank, you absolutely can. It's not contraindicated for pregnancy unless you have a very deep diastasis recti. So you just decide your plank. Take a deep breath in. 3 chaturanga push-ups. Exhale, elbows bend. They stay close to your sides. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. Inhale up. Exhale, bend and hold for 3, 2. Sit back in child's pose on 1. Take your knees wide. Sit onto your heels. Maybe you stack one fist on top of the other for some lift. Take this opportunity to maybe grab water to reconnect to your breath. When you're ready, climb back onto your hands. 2 options, polar bear or downward facing dog. Stretch the upper back, the back of your legs if you're in down dog. Cleansing breath in, cleansing breath out. If you're in polar bear, climb onto your hands for tabletop. Lift your right leg up. Even in tabletop, you can come to this pose so it looks more like this. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step or help your foot in between your hands. Lift your left knee up if it's lowered. High lunge again. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Wrap your hands behind you, fingers interlace. Squeeze your arms straight, breathe in. Fold over your front leg with your breath out. Knuckles lift towards the sky. And then release your hands down, maybe on your shin, maybe on the blocks or the floor. If you're getting dizzy at all, you can come into a bit of a half lift instead of folding deeply over your right leg. Inhale, bend your right knee, plant your palms. Exhale, step your left foot to meet your right. Rock the hips a little bit from side to side. Inhale, soften your knees. Exhale, flat back or roll up. Breathe in, arms overhead. Breathe out, hands at heart. Root your left foot down. Step your right leg back. Take the length and high lunge that you need. This side may feel different. Just check in. Arms where you're comfortable. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend and hold. Left knee stays quiet. Breathe in. With your breath out, right knee bends, a little or a lot. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend and hold for 3. Hover 2. Release your knee and your hands down on 1. Come back into a half plank, maybe a full plank. This time, hands or palms stay where they, the heel of your hands stay where they are, and your fingers turn in slightly. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, your elbows go wide. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down and hold for 3. Shoulders back, 2. Heart forward, 1. Sit back in child's pose. Cleansing breath in. Cleansing breath out. Tabletop or downward facing dog, you choose. Lift your left leg up and open, breathe in. Step or help your left foot to the top of your mat with your breath out. Climb onto your left thigh, rise back up, high lunge. Straighten your left leg. Wrap your hands behind you, fingers interlace. Squeeze your arms straight, breathe in. Fold forward with your breath out. Stay connected to your feet. Imagine you can press the ends of the mat away from one another with your feet. And then release your hands down on your shin, blocks, or mat, whatever's accessible. Remember, you can come into a half lift if you're feeling dizzy. Inhale, bend your left knee, plant your palms. Exhale, step your right foot to meet your left. Rock your hips from side to side. Inhale, soften your knees. Exhale, flat back or roll up. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands at heart. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, arms reach overhead. Exhale, legs straighten, hands at heart. Inhale, sit low, toes light. Exhale, stand tall. One more. Inhale, sit low, pause. Root into the four corners of your feet. Notice where your body's holding tension. Try to soften. Breathe in. With your breath out, hands at heart center. Root your right foot down. Step your left foot back. Open up for warrior two. And I'll shift my position. So you've got right heel, left arch alignment. Your stance can be as long as you want it to be, but your feet are on the same line. Extend through the fingertips, draw the shoulders together and down the back. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, bend. Point your knee over the three middle toes. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend and hold. Flip your right palm. Wrap your left hand behind the back. And as you inhale, exalt. Round the right side body. Lift your rib cage away from baby. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Release your right forearm to your thigh. Extend the left arm alongside your ear. And if you're getting fatigued in the shoulders, you can wrap your left hand behind to the sacrum. Allow your hips to move towards the top of your mat. Create length in the side bodies, and maybe, as an option, you bring your hand to baby. Connect to your breath. Breathe in. With your breath out, climb onto your right thigh, push yourself away. Come back to warrior two, breathe in. Spiral your hands down to the mat with your breath out. Another opportunity for lizard pose. Toe heel your right foot wide. Shift the hips towards the top of your mat. Plant your palms. Two options, tabletop or downward facing dog. Cleansing breath in, cleansing breath out. From either tabletop or down dog, lift your right leg up, open up the hip, bend the knee. Breathe in. With your breath out, step or help your foot to the top of your mat. Rise back up again, warrior two. Inhale, straighten your right leg. And as you exhale, take your hand to your thigh and then slide down for triangle pose. A block is nice here. You can take it outside of your leg. You can rest your hand on your shin. Just lift your kneecaps up your thighs. Stay active in your quads. Lengthen both side bodies equally. Feel the feet hug together. Feel that energy rise up your legs. Breathe in. And with your breath out, slowly bend your right knee. Come back to warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Take your hands to your hips and turn your right toes in. So you're standing wide on your mat and your feet are parallel to one another. As you inhale, press the hips down, elongate your spine. And as you exhale, wide-legged forward fold, release down. Hands on blocks, shins, the floor, whatever's accessible. Climb back onto your hands. Walk back around to the top of your mat towards the right foot. Step your left foot forward and fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, soften your knees. Exhale, flat back or roll up, you choose. Arms overhead, breathe in. Hands at heart center, breathe out. Inhale, chair pose, sit low. Exhale, rise back up. 2 more, inhale, sink down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower and hover. This time as an option, maybe you start to lift your heels. Maybe you can sink a little bit lower. Breathe in. With your breath out, plant your heels, stand tall. Root your left foot down. Step your right foot back. Open up. Warrior 2. Now you have left heel to right arch alignment. Let your hips sink towards the mat. Reach the fingers in opposition. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. 1 more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Flip your left palm, breathe in, tip back with your breath out. Round your left side body. Keep your hips moving towards the front of your mat. Lift out of your low back. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle. Left forearm to your thigh, right arm alongside your ear or wraps around to your low back. Either way, roll your right shoulder open, create space in the side bodies. Maybe bring a hand to baby. Inhale. With your exhale, climb onto your thigh, push yourself back up. Wrap your hands around to the top of your mat. Toe heel your left foot wide. Release your right knee down, lizard pose. Maybe you rock from side to side. Make this your own. Plant your palms, tabletop, or downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up and open, breathe in. Step or help your left foot to the top of your mat with your breath out. Rise back up again, warrior 2. Straighten your left leg, inhale, bring your hand to your thigh, and as you exhale, slide down to wherever feels accessible, triangle pose. Root through the big toe ball mound of your left foot. Allow your right hip point to roll towards the floor a little bit so you can deepen your left hip crease. We do not want to stack our hips. That's not the way our body's meant to move. So you have more of an internal rotation on your right thigh. Inhale, soften your left knee. Exhale, push back up again, warrior 2. Straighten your left leg, turn your left toes in. Stand wide. Hands to hips. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, fold. Reconnect to your breath. Reconnect to your body. Maybe connect to baby. As you inhale, climb back onto your hands. And as you exhale, walk back around towards your left foot to the top of your mat. Step your right foot to meet your left, fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold in. Soften your knees, breathe in, flat back or roll up with your breath out. And then make sure you have some space behind you. So step to the top of your mat. Extend your arms out in front of you. Lift your heels just a bit and bend your knees. You're sitting in a little bit of an awkward pose. And then step your right foot back. Bend the knees even deeper. Garden Goddess pose. Draw the arm bones into the shoulder sockets. Stay low, step your right foot in line with your left, and then your left foot back about a foot. Sink low. Step your left foot in line with your right, release your arms by your side. As you inhale, lift the heels up, reach your arms up, rising mountain. And as you exhale, lower the heels, take your arms by your side. Inhale, rising mountain. Exhale, gently lower. One more, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Reach your arms out and out, breathe in. Soften into a fold with your breath out. Step your right foot back, followed by the left. Drop the knees down. Slide the hands together so that your thumb and your first fingers touch. So you make a triangle underneath your heart. Take a deep breath in. Last work of arms, I promise. Exhale, elbows bend. Wide. Inhale up. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale up. Exhale, elbows bend and hold for 3, 2. Sit back in child's pose on 1. Connect your forehead to something. Rock your forehead from side to side. Back into a tabletop. Shift onto your sitting bones and reach the legs out in front of you. Anything underneath you is just an option. And with seated forward folds, really baby dictates how far you go. You can make it a little bit easier and take your legs wider. Keep your flesh underneath your sitting bones. As you inhale, lean forward just a little bit, allow your low back to round, and then as you exhale, reach your heart towards the tops of your feet. If you need to, you can find a slight bend in the knees. Maybe you can start to fold a little bit deeper. Slowly begin to rise up. Grab underneath your knees. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. If you'd like, you can take your feet further away from you or hug the heels in. Just depends on how you'd like to experience this pose, Baddha Konasana. Grab your ankles, lift your heart up, and as you exhale, fold forward. To intensify this, you can press your elbows gently to the inner thighs. Lift your chest up, and then take your feet wide and bring your hands behind you. Sway your knees from side to side. And then drop both knees over to the right and pause. This may be enough. If you'd like to intensify this, you can pick up your right foot and place it on your outer left thigh, and then just give into gravity a bit here. Release your right foot if it's hooked. Point the knees up. Drop the knees over to the left. Stay here or pick up your left foot and place it on your outer right thigh. Release your left foot, point your knees up, come forward, wrap your arms around your shins. Let the upper body hang out a bit. Let the head drop. then slowly slink back up. Come to a comfortable seat. Take your right arm across the body. With your left hand, grab just above the wrist. Draw your right shoulder head back, feel that extra stretch. Take your right hand up, drop your hand down the back. Take your left hand to your right elbow. Press gently on the elbow to extend your fingertips down towards the spine. Release your arms down, left arm in front of your body, grab just above the wrist. As you pull the fingertips away from you, draw your left shoulder on the back. Point your arm up, drop your hand down the back, right hand on left elbow. And then release your hands. Extend your right hand out in front of you. Take your left hand on the palm. Pull the fingertips towards you. Feel a stretch to the bottom of your wrist. Other hand, left palm faces away from you. Pull the left fingertips towards you. Bring your thumb and your first finger together. Drop the outer wrists or the upper wrists towards the floor, and then reach the other fingers towards the sky. Stretch out the top of your wrists. And then bring your thumb to your fingernails. And we're flicking the fingers out. So you should hear the sound that your thumbs make on your fingers, on your fingernails. It's with intention, like you're getting water off your hands. So with all of that bearing weight on our wrists, we not only want to stretch them out, we want to strengthen our wrists. Our wrists do take a toll once we're holding baby, and this will help it there as well. So take your hands a little bit wider, kind of flick away from you to the sides. And if you're having some swelling in your hands and your wrists, this will help the swelling as well. Take your fingers up, flick. And then wring out your hands. Interlace your fingers, press your palms away from one another. Doesn't matter which forearm's on top to start. And then switch. And then I invite you to grab your props and set yourself up for your final resting pose for Shavasana. So maybe you take your blanket or even a pillow underneath your head and lie on your favorite side. You can take another pillow in between your legs to help support the spine and the hips. So your Shavasana can look however you'd like, whether it's side lying. You can make your blanket long to go underneath your spine. You scoot your low back up and allow your head to fall back, and not only does this open up to the chest, but it keeps you off of that vein in your back. So get into your most comfortable position, the position that allows you to relax and release. Take a deep inhale through your nose, fill up. Exhale, open mouth. 2 more, breathe in. Breathe out. Last one, inhale. Sigh it all out. And then allow the guidance of your breath to fade. And start to absorb the benefits of your practice in Shavasana. And I encourage you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you need. If it's a pose that you tend to want to get out of, I encourage you to stay even longer. And if you've got other kiddos running around and you can stand to stay one more minute, you need it the most. So allow your body to relax and to release. As always, you have an option to bring a hand to baby if you want to feel that connection. Allow everything in your mind to go and give into gravity in Shavasana. Thank you so much for sharing your practice today. Namaste.